What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'll be doing my official 2022 NASCAR Cup Series winners predictions. I'll be going through each race and telling you which driver that I think will win in the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series season at each race. Let's go and just jump straight into it. We're going to start off by talking about the first race of the next-gen car, which is going to be at the LA Coliseum, which is going to be the LA Clash, the Busch Light LA Clash at the LA Coliseum. Now, like I said, this is going to be the first race of the next-gen era, and I think that the first race is going to be won by a very, very popular driver at the LA Coliseum. I believe that Chase Elliott is going to win the opening race at the LA Coliseum. I think that makes a ton of sense for a driver like Chase Elliott to win this event. Chase Elliott, number one, is a driver that's won a lot of short tracks throughout his entire career, and he's very, very good at short tracks. So I believe that Chase Elliott is going to be the first official, it's not going to be the official win for Chase Elliott, but I believe that Chase Elliott is going to be the first driver that will win with the next-gen car, and it'll be the driver that will be your winner of the Busch Clash at the LA Coliseum. There will be a one-week break, and then the next week we will be heading to the Daytona 500 to kick off the 2022 season. And I believe that the driver that is going to win the 2022 Daytona 500, I believe, is going to be Ryan Blaney. I think Ryan Blaney is finally going to win the Daytona 500. Ryan Blaney's been exceptional, especially on super speedway tracks. As a matter of fact, he won the last time when we were at Daytona and won that race in the August race for the cutoff race in the NASCAR Cup Series. And I believe that Ryan Blaney is finally going to win Daytona 500. He had a really fast car in 2018, had the best car there, had a really strong car in 2019, had a fast car in 2020, and was pretty good in 2021 as well. So I believe that Ryan Blaney's finally going to get redemption, and I believe that he is going to finally win his first ever Daytona 500 in his NASCAR Cup Series career. I think he gets his first Daytona 500, and potentially many, because he's a good super speedway racer, and I think Ryan Blaney will win the Daytona 500. After Daytona 500, we'll be headed out west for the Auto Club Speedway, as this potentially could be the last time that we're at the 2-mile track, though there is potential this may end up being, once again, a 2-mile track in 2023. And I think Auto Club Speedway is going to be a track that a lot of veterans are going to be very, very strong at. I also think Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing are going to be the first two teams to really gel with this car. I believe veterans are going to win this time out, and I believe that Martin Truex Jr. is going to get his first of a couple wins in the 2022 season. Martin Truex Jr. has been really, really strong Auto Club throughout his entire career. He won this track in 2018, almost won this track in 2017. I believe was also very fast in the 2019 and the 2020 showings as well. So I think that Martin Truex Jr. is going to have a lot of speed. I think he's going to have a lot of pace, and I believe that Martin Truex Jr. is going to pick up his first win of the 2022 season at Auto Club. Right after Auto Club Speedway, we'll be heading out to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the second race of the West Coast Swing. And Las Vegas Motor Speedway is a track that I think is going to be replay a lot into the weather factors and will be the second race of the technically the 550 concurrent package with the next car, though we don't know how it entirely is going to race. And I believe that the driver that is going to win the Cup Series race at Las Vegas is a guy who won the race in the spring last year, Kyle Larson. I believe Kyle Larson is going to get his first of many wins of the 2021 season. Kyle Larson is arguably the best driver at the mile and a half last year, and I think that is going to translate into next season. Plus, Hendrick Motorsports seems to be a team that is really, really good in the first year of a new type of car. So I believe that Kyle Larson is going to pick up his first of many wins in the 2021 season, and he will cross the finish line first at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Right after Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we'll be headed out to Phoenix International Raceway for the fourth race, and for technically the fifth race, and the final race of the West Coast Swing, which will also be on Fox. And I believe that Phoenix is going to go to a driver that has won at this track many, many times in the past. This driver, though, has not won this track since they've reconfigured it, but he has 9 wins here at Phoenix. I believe that Kevin Harvick is going to finally get back to victory lane. Kevin Harvick's last win came at Bristol in 2020, and it's been over a year since Kevin Harvick has won a race. But I believe that Kevin Harvick is finally going to get redemption, and I believe that he will pick up his first of a couple wins in the 2022 season. Kevin, I think, has a little bit of bounce back. I think the veterans are going to do really well with the next-gen car, and I believe that Kevin Harvick will pick up his first win of the 2022 season. Right after Phoenix International Speedway, we'll be heading back down to the southeast, and we'll be headed to Atlanta Motor Speedway, where there is going to be a new configuration on the track. They'll also be running 550 horsepower package. I know a lot of people are thinking it's going to be like a super speedway race. I do not believe that this track is going to race like a super speedway, and I think talent is still going to matter a lot when we go to Atlanta Motor Speedway. So I believe that Atlanta Motor Speedway is going to go to Kyle Larson, and he's going to get redemption from the spring of last year. Kyle Larson in the spring race in 2021, he dominated that race, but he used his stuff up, and Joey Logano, who was Ryan Blaney's teammate, unfortunately cost Kyle Larson an opportunity, and Ryan Blaney passed Kyle Larson with around, I believe, 6 or 7 laps to go in this race, and stole the victory from Kyle Larson in that event. I believe that Kyle Larson is going to get redemption, and he'll get his second win of the 2022 season at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Right after Atlanta Motor Speedway, we'll be heading out to Texas for the only time we'll be headed to Circuit of the Americas, as that race gets moved from the middle of May to all the way in March for better weather on the racetrack. Now, I think that Circuit of the Americas is going to go to a driver that is very, very strong, and I think we'll see a lot less rain be a big issue. So I think the drivers that are really good at road courses are going to gel. I know we've not seen the next-gen car race, and we may see some new surprising contenders, but I don't think so. I think that the traditional drivers are really, really good at road courses are going to be fast, and I believe that Chase Elliott is going to pick up his first win at 2022 season at COTA. I believe he's going to go back-to-back. Like I said, Chase Elliott has been extremely good on road courses throughout his entire career, and I think that Chase Elliott is finally going to get back to victory lane and get another win on the road courses, and will get his first full season win of the 2022 season. I know Chase Elliott traditionally does not win early in the season, but I think that changes this year. I think he wins at Circuit of the Americas. Right after Circuit of the Americas, we'll be heading out more back to Virginia, as we'll be headed to Richmond International Speedway for a day race on Sunday afternoon. I believe that the Joe Gibbs cars in this race are going to be extremely fast. I think the Joe Gibbs cars are going to be the team to beat. I know that Hendrick has shown a little bit of pace the last couple years of this track. Guys like Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott have shown a lot of speed. But I believe that the driver that is going to win the race at Richmond is going to be the hometown guy, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin has been historically very, very strong at this track of Richmond. As a matter of fact, he's had arguably the fastest car the last 2 times he's been here at Richmond, but unfortunately, he's had issues late in the event or has got passed throughout the event. So I think that Denny Hamlin is going to get redemption, and I think that Denny Hamlin will go back to victory lane at Richmond, and he will pick up his first win of the 2022 season at Richmond International Raceway. Right after Richmond International Speedway, we'll be heading out to Ridgeway, Virginia, as we'll be headed to Martinsville for the first night race of the 2022 season. It will be the first race that's going to be taking place on FS1. That's right, the first 7 races of the season are actually going to be on Main Fox, which is something that is really, really exciting. I think Martinsville is going to go a little bit different than traditionally. For the last couple years, we've seen drivers like Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin and Mark Truex Jr. pretty much go out there win. Of course, Alex will get your occasional win. But I think that we're going to see a new face finally get their first ever win at Martinsville. I believe that William Byron, yes, you heard that right, I believe that William Byron is going to pick up his first win of the 2022 season at Martinsville Speedway. William Byron has always been good at Martinsville. I remember 2019 when he was basically on the upswing, and he was really, really good, and actually almost beat Mark Truex Jr. and almost ended up sealing the victory, but unfortunately, error issues came into play. And the last time we were here at Martinsville, he was extremely fast. So I believe that William Byron is going to pick up his first win of 2022, and he gets it done at Martinsville. Right after Martinsville, we'll be headed out to Bristol Dirt, which will be taking place on Easter Sunday at night, which will be another night race. I think that this is a great decision, and I think that this race is going to go a lot better. I don't think you're going to have a lot of visibility problems. I don't think dust is going to be an issue in this event. But who do I think is going to win the Cup Series race at Bristol Dirt? I think that this guy is finally going to get redemption after last year. I feel like this guy, had he not gone to the rear of the field and didn't get crashed out, I feel like he would have honestly dominated and won this race. I think that Kyle Larson is going to go back here. I think he's going to go back to victory lane here at Bristol Dirt and get his first dirt win in the NASCAR Cup Series. And I think Kyle Larson is going to get his 3rd win of the 2022 season here at Bristol Dirt. I think he gets it done. I think he 100% dominates. I don't think he goes to the rear for changing something on the car. I think Kyle Larson is going to pick up the win at Bristol Dirt. Right after Bristol Dirt, we'll be heading down south in Alabama to Talladega Super Speedway. For the second time, I'll be racing on a super speedway track. Now, Talladega, of course, will be a new package. Will be introduced at Daytona because we'll be testing very, very soon on that. But Talladega Super Speedway, I still think guys that are really good at super speedways are going to be very, very fast. So who do I think is going to win at Talladega Super Speedway? I think that the driver that's going to win Talladega Super Speedway has arguably been one of the most underrated, but one of the best drivers historically at Talladega Super Speedway. I believe that Brad Keselowski, yes, you heard that right, I believe Brad Keselowski is going to win his first ever race at Roush Fenway Racing at Super Speedways. I believe that this will be the only time that Brad Keselowski picks up a win in the 2021-2 season, as he'll be still getting acclimated to the Roush Fenway team at Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. But I think Brad Keselowski is going to get it done, and I think he will pick up his first win at his time at Roush Fenway and will get his first and only win of the 2022 season. Right after Talladega Super Speedway, we'll be heading up to Dover, Delaware for the Cup Series race on the 1 mile concrete track at Dover International Speedway. Who do I believe is going to win this race? I believe that this race is once again going to be dominated by the Hendrick cars. I think that those are going to be the cars that are going to be extremely fast. But unlike last year where Kyle Larson finished second, I believe that Kyle Larson is going to get his fourth win of the 2022 season here at Dover. Kyle Larson was really, really fast last time we were here at Dover, and he actually won the race in 2019, has become a driver that's been acclimated good here at this racetrack. He probably should have won this race the last time we were here at Dover, but unfortunately, they lost it on pit road, and Alex Bowman passed him in. They got basically acquired by SMI. So I think Kyle Larson's going to come into Dover, and I think he picks up the win at Dover International Speedway. Right after Dover National Speedway, we'll be heading to Darlington, South Carolina for the throwback race, the Rebel 400, wherever the race is going to be called. We'll be going to Darlington International Raceway during the Mother's Day weekend. Who do I think is going to win at Darlington? I believe that the driver that is going to pick up the win at Darlington, this guy is going to get his first career NASCAR Cup Series victory. This guy I think is going to be a driver that's really, really surprisingly good with the next-gen car. I believe that Tyler Reddick, yes, you heard that right, is going to pick up his first career NASCAR Cup Series victory. Tyler Reddick has been extremely impressive at a track like Darlington, and driver talent does matter a lot more. And he seems to be a big fan of a track at Darlington. He also did test with the next-gen car at Darlington. So I believe that Tyler Reddick picks up the win at Darlington, gets his first career NASCAR Cup Series victory, and I believe that he will be the driver that scores the victory at Darlington. Right after Darlington National Raceway, we'll be heading out more to the west in the Midwest, as we'll be headed to Kansas Speedway for the first of 2 trips at the racetrack. Who do I think is going to win this event? I think, once again, we're going to see another win by Kyle Larson. I think Kyle Larson is going to get his 5th win of the 2022 season here at Kansas Speedway. Kyle Larson had the best car in the spring race the last time we were here, and I think he's going to get redemption here at this track. I think he was extremely impressive, was really, really fast the last time we were here. It's just that the restarts unfortunately cost him, but I don't think he has those issues on restarts. He also won the last time we were here, so I think that Kyle Larson is going to win the Cup Series race at Kansas in 2022. Right after Kansas International Speedway, we'll be heading down a little more south to Texas Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Cup Series race, the All-Star event. Who do I think is going to win the All-Star race? I think that the All-Star race is going to come down to a few drivers. I think the Hendrick cars are going to be fast, and I think that you're going to see the Penske cars be fast as well. But I think that Kyle Larson is going to go back-to-back, not technically back-to-back, but I think that Kyle Larson is going to pick up his second straight All-Star victory, actually technically his 3rd straight All-Star victory, and will go back-to-back in the All-Star races in the 2022 season. I think Kyle Larson gets it done once again. We'll get 3 in a row for Hendrick. I think it's done once again. Kyle Larson had the best car here at Texas last time. He's won the last 2 races at Texas. I think he gets it done at Texas. Right after the All-Star race at Texas Motor Speedway, we'll be heading out more to the East Coast as we will have the traditional Memorial Day weekend, the Coca-Cola 600. Who do I think is going to win the Coca-Cola 600? Last year, Hendrick Motorsports dominated. We know that for a fact. They dominated the race. I think, though, that this time around for the Coca-Cola 600, I think that there's going to be a new team that's going to come onto the block. I believe that the driver that is going to win the Coca-Cola 600 is going to be the driver of the 18-car Kyle Busch. It's going to take Kyle Busch a long time to get that first win in the 2022 season. It's going to take up till race, I believe, number 13 or 14. Actually, race number 14 in the NASCAR Cup Series season. But I think that Kyle Busch is going to get it done. I think he's going to have a lot of pace. I think he's going to have a lot of speed in the event. He had the fastest car of the non-Hendrick cars in that event, and I think Kyle Busch this time won't have those issues. And I think he's going to be pretty fast throughout the year. It's just going to take him some time to get acclimated to the new car. But I believe that Kyle Busch is going to win the Coca-Cola 600. Right after the Coca-Cola 600, we'll be heading out pretty much a little bit past the East Coast point of the Mississippi River. We'll be heading out to the city, around the St. Louis area, and we'll be going to Worldwide Technology Raceway for the first time in the NASCAR Cup Series history. Who do I think is going to win at Worldwide Technology Raceway? Now, of course, I do think experience is going to matter, and there's not a ton of drivers that are really race here. Only guys that have ran here in the past are Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick. I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has experience here a little bit at this track, and also drivers that drove in the Truck Series. However, the last time we went to a racetrack where we had experience didn't matter as much. Kyle Larson won that event at Nashville Superspeedway. And I think, once again, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think that Kyle Larson is going to, once again, pick up another NASCAR Cup Series victory. I think he gets a 6th win in round number 15 in the NASCAR Cup Series Championship. Kyle Larson is going to be fast at this track. I think experience will matter, don't get me wrong, but I think Kyle Larson at Worldwide Technology Raceway is going to come to St. Louis area and will get his 6th win of the 2022 season here at Worldwide Technology Raceway in Gateway. Right after Worldwide Technology Raceway, we'll be headed to Sonoma Raceway for the final NASCAR Cup Series race on the Fox networks. As after Sonoma, we'll be heading to NBC and USA networks, and we'll be going to Sonoma. Who do I think is going to win Sonoma? Now, traditionally, you would think guys like Martin Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson would definitely be the favorites in those events. And you have to definitely put those guys as potential favorites for those events. But I think that another driver is going to show up into the fold. I think that William Byron is going to get his 2nd win of the 2022 season here at Sonoma Raceway. So William Byron is a very underrated racer on road courses. He's been extremely fast. He's not won a race, but he's qualified always up front. He's shown a lot of pace, and with having Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson there, he's gotten a lot of pointers and a lot of praise from both of those drivers when it comes to road course racing. And I think that William Byron is going to be up front as much as Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott is on road courses. So I think that William Byron's going to get it done. I think he's going to pick up the win, and I think William Byron will win the Cup Series race at Sonoma. Right after Sonoma, we'll have a 1-week break, and then we will go over to NBC, and NBC will open up their portion on the main NBC network at Nashville Superspeedway, which is going to be taking place at 5 p.m. Eastern due to traffic concerns that took place last year, and they had the latest start the race last year because of traffic concerns. Who do I think is going to win at Nashville Superspeedway? This past year, Kyle Larson won here and dominated this event. And I do think that Kyle Larson is going to be really fast in this event. However, I think the driver that has a sponsorship for this event, Alex Bowman, who has the Ally sponsorship, and of course, Ally does sponsor the Ally 400 at Nashville Superspeedway. I think that Alex Bowman, yes, heard that right, I believe that Alex Bowman is going to get finally his 1st win of the 2021 season. I also believe that this will be Alex Bowman's only win of the 2022 season. Alex Bowman, I think, is going to be focusing on being more consistent, being less inconsistent. He won a lot of races, but he was inconsistent last year. So I think he's going to take that consistency, and I think that Alex Bowman will pick up Hendrick's 2nd straight win at Nashville Superspeedway, and he'll get it done. Will the track be cursed? Who really knows? But I think Alex Bowman will win at Nashville Superspeedway. Right after Nashville Superspeedway, we'll be heading out to Road America for the 4th of July weekend event. Who do I think is going to win at Road America? I think the driver that is going to win this event arguably had a potential car that could have gone up against Chase Elliott. However, this driver ended up having mechanical problems in the event after hitting the curbs and the turtles on the track, and unfortunately spun out, and unfortunately the mechanical gremlins unfortunately took him out of contention in this event. So who do I think is going to win that weekend at Road America? I believe that the winner at Road America is going to be Austin Cindric. I think he finally picks up his 1st career NASCAR Cup Series victory. I believe that Austin Cindric is going to be extremely consistent throughout the year. I think he'll be the 1st rookie to win since Cole Custer did it in the 2020 season. I think he's going to get it done. It's going to take him a long time, but I think he gets redemption after having mechanical problems in 2021. And I think in 2022, Austin Cindric is going to pick up the overall victory at Road America. Right after Road America, we'll be going back to Atlanta Motor Speedway for the 2nd time on the 1.5 mile track. And who do I think is going to win at Atlanta Motor Speedway? I think as we're getting farther crunch time in the playoffs, there are probably going to be drivers that are below the cutoff line that are going to be really, really pushing it at this point. But I think that the driver that is going to win at Atlanta Motor Speedway in 2022, I believe that the driver that is going to win at that track is actually going to be Ryan Blaney. I believe that Ryan Blaney is going to get his 2nd and final win of the 2022 season at this track. Ryan Blaney's been really, really good at mile-and-a-half tracks as well. He was very, very underrated in the season. I think he had a third or fourth best average finishes on mile-and-a-half this year. I think Ryan Blaney gets it done. I think cross the finish line first, and I think Ryan Blaney is going to win at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Right after Atlanta Motor Speedway, we'll be heading out to New England, and we'll be going to Loudon, New Hampshire for the Cup Series race at New Hampshire International Speedway. Who do I think is going to win the Cup Series race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway? I think a driver that's going to win the race in New Hampshire. This driver had potentially a car that could have beat the driver who won this race, Eric Almirola, the last time we were here. And had a few more laps gone, he would have had a chance to win the event. I think that the driver that is going to win the Cup Series race in New Hampshire, I believe, is going to be the driver of the 20 car, Christopher Bell. Christopher, I think, is going to have a very, very solid year in 2022. But I believe that Christopher Bell is going to finally get that first win in 2022 and his second career NASCAR Cup Series victory at New Hampshire. I think that Christopher Bell is a very, very good and a very, very talented driver. It's just it's going to take some time for him to get used to stuff. But I think that Christopher Bell is going to be the first driver to cross that finish line, and I think he wins at New Hampshire. Right after New Hampshire National Speedway, we'll be heading up to Long Pond, Pennsylvania for the only Cup Series race at Pocono. This will be the first time in many, many years that Pocono will be the only time we'll be only going there once in the 2022 season. Who do I think is going to win at Pocono International Speedway? I believe that the driver is going to be a veteran, and I think this driver was really, really close to winning, but unfortunately, this driver ran out of gas here at this track. I believe the driver that will win the race at Pocono is going to be the driver of the 11 car, Denny Hamlin. It's going to take Denny Hamlin a very, very long time to get that second win of the season after dominating and winning at Richmond. But I believe that Denny Hamlin is going to get it done at Pocono. I think he's going to have a lot of speed. I think he's arguably one of the best drivers historically at Pocono. I think he has 6 wins here at Pocono, and he won his first 2 career races at Pocono. So I think Denny Hamlin gets it done. I think he picks up the win, and I think he crosses the finish line first at Pocono International Speedway. Right after Pocono International Speedway, we'll be heading up to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the second annual race at the Indianapolis Road Course. The last time we were here, we had troubles with the track where the track unfortunately came apart. So, who do I think is going to win the Cup Series race at the Indianapolis Road Course? I think that this driver is going to get redemption for the last time we were here. He had potentially a car to win, but unfortunately cost himself by going through the grass, and unfortunately dumped Denny Hamlin for a chance to win. Then he got penalized, and Agent Allmendinger basically passed him overall for the victory. So, I think the guy that's going to win it is going to be the driver of the 14 car, Chase Briscoe. I think he's going to get his first career NASCAR Cup Series victory at this track. He pretty much had a car that could have won the race, had a really, really strong car in that event, and got up there because of pit strategy. But he earned his way up in the front. It's just a shame that he kind of, unfortunately, cost himself an opportunity to run well. But I think Chase Briscoe is going to get it done. I think he goes to victory, and I think he picks up the win at the Indianapolis Road Course. Right after the Indianapolis Road Course, we'll be heading up to Michigan International Speedway, which is not that far from Indianapolis Road Course, and we'll be heading up to the Brooklyn, Michigan area for the only time we'll be at the Michigan International Speedway in the NASCAR Cup Series. Who do I think is going to win at Michigan International Speedway? Now, the last couple years, you've had drivers like Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson win at this track, but there's one driver that has been surprisingly really, really strong at this track, and that is the driver who I'm picking to win this race. I think that Joey Logano is going to win the Cup Series race at this track at Michigan. I think that Joey Logano is a very, very strong driver at this track. I think he's shown speed through the years at this track. He was really, really good actually the last time we were here, but unfortunately had problems late in the event. But I don't think that Joey Logano is going to have those problems this time we come around here at Michigan. I think he's going to cross the finish line first. I think he's going to be the first driver across that line, and I think that Joey Logano will pick up his first and only win. That's right. He's only going to have another one-win season in 2022. I think he wins at Michigan. Right after Michigan International Speedway, we'll be heading to Richmond International Speedway for the second time in the regular season. This is the first time since 2016 that Richmond will not have representation in the NASCAR Cup Series Plus, and both of the races will be day races, by the way. I'm a little surprised that the second Richmond race is not a night race. I'm a little shocked by that, but we'll be heading to Richmond International Speedway for the second time. Who do I think is going to win at Richmond International Speedway? I think at this race, we're going to see a really, really shocking upset in this event. I think at this driver, it's going to take us some time to get used to driving for the new team. But I think that Kurt Busch, yes, heard that right, I believe that Kurt Busch, who's won a couple times here at Richmond International Speedway, I think won this track in 2005, if I remember correctly, and won this track in 2015. I think he's going to win in the 45 car for 2311 Racing. I think he gets it done, and Kurt Busch will get his first official win with 2311 Racing here in 2022 at Richmond International Speedway. I think he gets it done. Right after Richmond International Speedway, we'll be heading out to Watkins Glen International Raceway up in Watkins Glen, New York for the second time in a row. We did not have a race in 2020 due to COVID-19. They returned in 2021, and we saw a really, really strong race where Kyle Larson was able to pick up the victory in a very fast-paced race, too. The race is under 2.5 hours, which is definitely really, really surprising. So, who do I think is going to win at Watkins Glen International Raceway? I think that this driver does not have any problems. He won the Superior Track 2018 and 2019. I think this driver will get his third win in the last 4 years at Watkins Glen. I believe that Chase Elliott is going to win his second race of the 2022 season here at Watkins Glen. Chase Elliott should have won this race in 2021, but unfortunately locked up the tires and had to start at the rear at the mechanical troubles for the green flag drop and basically got sent to the rear for the event. So I think that Chase Elliott's going to get it done. I think he wins at Watkins Glen, and I believe that he will pick up his second win of the season here at Watkins Glen. And then right after Watkins Glen, we'll be heading to Daytona International Speedway for the cutoff race at Daytona International Speedway for the race that will decide who will get in to the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Who do I believe is going to be the driver that wins that event? This driver has been extremely fast on super speedways and will be very, very quick on the super speedway tracks. I think he's also going to improve throughout the 2022 season. Will be a much better driver than he was in 2021. On top of that, this driver picked up his first career NASCAR Cup Series victory at Talladega Super Speedway in the fall. Yes, it was a rain-shortened race, but he picked up his first career NASCAR Cup Series victory. I think that Bubba Wallace is going to win the cutoff race at Daytona International Speedway. For whatever reason, Bubba Wallace has an knack of being really, really strong at super speedway tracks. Don't get me wrong, he's been really good at all other different types of tracks. But I think that Bubba Wallace is going to have the pace. I think he's going to have the speed. And I think he'll be the final driver to win in the 2022 season. And I think that he'll get in over another driver that we'll talk about when the playoff predictions come out. But I think that he'll be really, really good. And I think he'll get a clutch victory at Daytona and lock his way into the playoffs. Right after Daytona, we'll be having the playoffs begin in the round of 16, which the re-race in the round of 16 are the Southern 500 Darlington, Kansas at Bristol. Let's start off with the Southern 500 at Darlington International Raceway. Who do I believe is going to win the opening race of the Southern 500? This driver came extremely close to winning the Southern 500 in 2021. Had this driver not had issues and basically ran into the outside wall and Denny Hamlin had not blocked him, this driver would have won. I think that Kyle Larson will go back to victory lane for the first time since only back at race number 15 of the season. He's going to be basically been quiet, probably telling guys try to have a chance to win. But I think that Kyle Larson is going to get back in his winning ways, and I think that he's going to pick up his 7th win of the 2021 season. I think gets it done and will open up the 2022 plus by winning the Southern 500 at Darlington. Right after the Southern 500, we'll be racing around the September 11th weekend, and we'll be racing at Kansas Speedway. Kansas gets moved out from the round of 8 and gets moved to earlier in the year in the round of 16 for better weather at the racetrack, and will be on the second intermediate track, but not technically the same type of track. This will be the second time we're at Kansas Speedway. Who do I think is going to win at Kansas Speedway? I think that this one's going to be a little bit of a shocker, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think that the driver that is going to win at Kansas Speedway is a driver that has won here multiple times throughout his career. I think it is going to be Kevin Harvick. Now, this one's a little bit bold because Kevin Harvick has been kind of not really good the last year or so. But I think that Kevin Harvick is going to have a redemption arc. I think he's going to have a redemption year overall as a whole. And I think that Kevin Harvick will pick up his second victory of the 2022 season. I think he gets it done. And I believe that he will pick up his second win of 2022 at Kansas and lock his way into the round of 12 with the win at Kansas Speedway. Right after Kansas Speedway, we'll be heading to Bristol Motor Speedway for the cutoff race at that racetrack. Last year, the track, well, this past season, I should say, we saw an incredible Bass Pro Shops NR8 night race. We saw tempers flaring, and we saw Kyle Larson get the victory late after passing Kevin Harvick with 5 laps to go. So who do I think is going to win the Bristol night race again? I think Kyle Larson's going to go back-to-back in the Bristol night race. I think also, as a matter of fact, Kyle Larson technically is going to get his 3rd straight win at Bristol after winning Bristol Dirt. Kyle Larson's been historically good at Bristol. You look at his time throughout his NASCAR career. He's shown a lot of pace. He's shown a lot of speed. I think gets it done. I think he picks up his 8th win of the season. I think gets it done and will win the cutoff race in the round of 16 cutoff race in the NASCAR Cup Series Plus. Right after Bristol Motor Speedway, we'll be headed to Texas Motor Speedway to start the round of 12. The round of 12 will consist of Texas, Talladega, and then we'll head to Charlotte Roval for the final race of that round. So, who do I think is going to win the Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway? I think that this driver will get a second win in the last 3 years at this race. I think he's going to be a little bit better in 2022. I think that Kyle Busch is going to get his second and final win of the 2022 season here at Texas Motor Speedway. I think he's going to be very, very fast. He's going to have a lot of speed. I think that 18 car is going to show a lot of pace. I think he and Ben Bayshore are going to be fast. And I think Kyle Busch also will be able to have a really good chance of getting to the round of 8. I think that Kyle Busch is going to win the NASCAR Cup Series race at Texas Motor Speedway. Right after Texas Motor Speedway, we'll be headed to Talladega Superspeedway for the second race of the round of 12 and the midway race of the NASCAR Cup Series Plus. Who do I think is going to win at Talladega Superspeedway? I think it's going to be a non-playoff driver that is going to win, just like this past year in Bubba Wallace won at Talladega. I think a non-playoff driver is going to end up winning this event. I think that Eric Almirola is going to win at Talladega Superspeedway. I think Eric Almirola is just going to miss the playoffs. I think he's going to have a much better 2022 season, but I think that he will unfortunately, unlike 2021, where he made it off of winning that race in New Hampshire, I think he will unfortunately not make the playoffs. But I think he gets redemption at Talladega. He'll get his 4th career NASCAR Cup Series victory, and will get his second win at Talladega Superspeedway historically. I think he gets it done. I think Eric Almirola is going to win at Talladega. And then right after Talladega, we'll be headed to the Charlotte Roval for the round of 12 NASCAR Cup Series cutoff race. Who do I think is going to win the Charlotte Roval? This one should not surprise anybody. I'm going to be picking Chase Elliott to win this race. Chase Elliott honestly had the best car. I think he would have had a chance to beat Kyle Larson in the event, but he and Kevin Harvick got into issues in 2021. On top of that, Chase Elliott have won this race in 2019 and really one of the greatest redemption comeback stories of a race, and in 2020 put up a dominating clinic. I think Chase Elliott's going to get it done again. I expect him to get it done, and I believe that Chase Elliott is going to win the round of 12 cutoff race at the Charlotte Roval. Right after the Charlotte Roval, we're going to be heading to the round of 8, which will consist of Las Vegas, Homestead, Miami Speedway, and Martinsville for the cutoff race. Who is going to win the opening race at Las Vegas in the round of 12? This guy's going to go back-to-back at Las Vegas. I think he's going to not only dominate this event, but I think he's going to lead over 100 to potentially 150 laps in this event. I think it's also going to be a much better show, and this race will be a daytime race, which I think is going to be much better for the race anyways, because the race happening at night, the race is just not as good, even though it's going to be a race that is going to be really, really warm regardless if it's in Las Vegas or not. But I think that Kyle Larson is going to win at Las Vegas Motor Speedway and pick up his impressive 9th win of the 2022 season. I think he gets it done. I think he's going to have a lot of pace and a lot of speed, and I think he will win the Cup Series race at Vegas for the second straight race and will advance to the championship by winning at Las Vegas. Right after Las Vegas, we'll be heading back down south to Homestead Miami Speedway, as that track will be in the round of 8. The last couple years, the track has been in the early portions of the season, and in 2020, Homestead Miami 21, this race ended up being the second race of the season, actually technically the third race, because Daytona Road Course ended up taking that second place after Auto Club lost their date. And we'll be back on the mile-and-a-half track. Great to see this track is going to be back in the playoffs. Who do I think is going to be win at Homestead Miami Speedway? I think that Kyle Larson is going to go back-to-back. I think Kyle Larson is finally, after many, many years of trying to win at Homestead Miami Speedway, I think he's going to get it done. And for the second straight season, I think that Kyle Larson will get 10 wins in the 2020 season. I think he gets it done, and I believe that Kyle Larson will win the Cup Series race at Homestead Miami Speedway. I think he will be your winner. Right after Homestead Miami Speedway, we'll be headed to Martinsville Speedway for the round of 8 cutoff event. Who do I think is going to win Martinsville? I think that this race is going to be absolutely nuts. I think it's going to be absolutely chaotic, and we're going to see a lot of tension between drivers throughout the event. So who do I think is going to get it done? I think of the driver that has always been extremely fast at this track, Martin Truex Jr., is going to win this race. Martin Truex Jr. always seems to get one win every single year. I don't think he'll win the spring race. I think that's going to go to William Byron, but I think that Martin Truex Jr. is going to win the cutoff race for the round of 8 to get into the championship 4. I think he will advance to the championship 4 with that win at Martinsville, and I believe that he will get his second and last win of 2022 at Martinsville. And now we're going to finally talk about the Championship 4 race. I'm not going to tell you I think we'll make the Championship 4 2022. I think, 2 of them I'm already picking for the Championship 4 at this moment. But we're going to Phoenix International Speedway once again for the cutoff race, for the race that decided the championship for the 3rd year in a row. Who do I think is going to win it? Not only do I think that this driver is going to win the race, but I think he'll win the championship. I think that Kyle Larson, once again, will cap off in an insanely impressive season, and I think that Kyle Larson will conclude the season by winning his 11th race of the 2022 season, gets it done, and I believe that he'll go back-to-back and be the first driver to win back-to-back championships in the NASCAR Cup Series. I think he wins Phoenix. I think he gets a second straight championship, and I believe he'll have 11 wins and will get up to now 27 career NASCAR Cup Series victories. I think he has another dominating season. I just think he's going to be really, really good, and I think he'll go back-to-back in NASCAR Cup Series championships. So, those are my winner predictions for 2022. Now, for those of you asking, some teams that did not pick the win, Trackhouse Racing, I think that team has still got a lot of work to do before they do get a win. Austin Dillon, same thing. I think Austin Dillon's going to be consistent, but I think he'll make the playoffs again. Same with Chris Buescher. I think Chris Buescher is going to be good, but I think that we're going to see a lot of competition next year, but I think that those are going to be all the drivers that are going to win in 2022. Again, I'm picking Kyle Larson to win a lot for y'all. Ask me in the comments why you pick Kyle Larson so much. I think Kyle Larson is going to have another dominating season. I think fans need to start getting used to the fact that I think that Kyle Larson is going to start winning more than 10 races, and I think he'll, for the second year in a row, we're going to see a 10-plus win season for Kyle Larson. I think most drivers are going to win no more than 3 races, but I think that everyone's going to have to be Kyle Larson, especially in a new car. Because historically, the second year for a driver at Motorsports seems only get better, and I think that is once again going to happen for Kyle Larson in 2022. So anyway, those are my official 2022 NASCAR Cup Series winner predictions. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications, so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links description below that. And comment your 2022 NASCAR Cup Series winner predictions in the comments below. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great and awesome NASCAR content on the channel like this. There's a lot of other major special content coming out, and there may be another big video that will drop this weekend. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. I'll see you guys next time for some more great and awesome NASCAR content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.